Good morning, everyone. Chag Sameach. Tonight we will all light the first candle of the menorah. This week's Torah portion is the portion of Miketz. And there's an obvious connection between the opening of the Torah portion and the holiday of Hanukkah. Because in the opening of this week's Torah parsha, Paro has two dreams. First, he dreams of 7 fat cows, followed by 7 skinny cows who consume the fat cows. And then he dreams about 7 fat, robust ears of grain consumed by 7 emaciated ears of grain. And it's Joseph who interprets the dream and rises to power. And the obvious connection to Hanukkah is that we begin saying the Al Hanisim prayer tonight, and in it we say that God delivered the mighty, meaning the Syrian Greek armies, into the weak, the small, weak Maccabee army. And Rabbim, the many, the large Syrian Greek armies, into the few, the small Maccabee army. And even though this is contrary to nature, which demands the survival of the fittest, nonetheless, because Joseph is a Jew, he understands that God runs the world, not nature, that God is beyond nature. And therefore, he says God will see to it that there will be 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. And this is the message of the story of Pharaoh and the story of Hanukkah. That when we put our trust in God, we transcend human nature, and we transcend the laws of nature, and we bring about miracles in our lives. And that's why tonight, one of the blessings we're going to make is the blessing of She'asa Nisim Labasenu, that God performed miracles for our ancestors by Yamim Mehem in those days, 22 centuries ago. Bizman Hazeh, but he continues to perform those miracles in our day as well. There are miracles in our lives. And this year it's more obvious than ever, the miracles in our lives. Because like the Maccabees, the IDF soldiers bravely, courageously are defending the Jewish people, continuing the story of Hanukkah in our modern day, not refusing to yield to the oppressive forces of the armies around us who tragically seek to destroy Israel, just like the Greeks tried to destroy Judaism. And just like the Maccabees defeated the large, powerful armies of the Greeks, the IDF is defeating one nation after another, one terrorist organization after another. And who could deny, who cannot see the obvious miracles that we're living through in our day? And every one of us has the opportunity to be a part of those miracles when we support our brethren in Israel, financially, emotionally, spiritually, through our prayers. We are part of this fight, and we are re-experiencing the miracles. And that's the message of Judaism. As we know, Judaism doesn't believe in history. History is his story or her story. A long time ago, once upon a time, it happened to someone somewhere else, not me. Memory it's my recollection, it's my story. I'm living that story. I'm the continuity of that story. I am one direct connection to the Maccabees. I am a modern day Maccabee. I am part of the story of the Jewish people of bringing light into the world and defeating darkness. In 1947, there was a soldier by the name of Dov Gruner. He was part of Menachem Begin's Irgun, and he was arrested by the British, and he was taken to the Akko prison, and tragically he was sentenced to be hanged. And in the middle of the night in 1947, he was hanged, being refused to be given the right to even see a rabbi before he was killed. His sister came from America to see him, and she found out on the radio that he was hanged, never getting to see this young 20-year-old soldier, Dov Gruner, who gave his life to create the state of Israel. Before he died, he wrote a letter to Menachem Begin, the head of the Irgun, and he said, I want to live like every human being wants to live. But if I am to finish my life, I only finish my life with one regret. And that regret is that I didn't accomplish enough. He said, I have no regrets of coming to Israel from Poland. I could have gone to America where I would have had a safe and secure life. I'm happy that I chose to come here and be a part of the story of the Jewish people. I just regret that I didn't get to do more. Exactly 20 years later, 1967, in the Six-Day War, Israel recaptured the old city of Jerusalem. When they came to the Western Wall, and of course the famous words of Rabbi Goren, Har Habayit Biadenu, the Temple Mountain is in our hands. And for the first time in almost 2,000 years, Jews were able to pray at the Western Wall. But they chose the first soldier to go down from the Temple Mount to the Western Wall to pray. And the name of the soldier they chose to go down to the Western Wall was a soldier by the name of Dov Gruner. Yes, this was the nephew of Dov Gruner, who was hanged in the Akko prison. His brother gave birth to a baby boy shortly after his hanging, and they named him Dov in memory of his uncle who was hanged, and he was Dov Gruner. And when they asked the general, Moshe Dayan, why did you send Dov Gruner? Why did you choose him? He said, I didn't choose him. History chose him. Destiny chose him. Because God was showing us that the sacrifice of Dov Gruner 20 years early in the Akko prison continued through his nephew, through successive generations of Jews. And that letter to Menachem Begin that Menachem Begin often quoted, he says, I regret that I didn't do more. But of course, his actions, fighting with the Irgun, continues to live on, not just in 1967, but till today, inspires future generations, and gives us as Jews the freedom to live as Jews, whether in Israel or anywhere around the world. And that's why we will light a candle tonight, the candle of faith that dispels all the darkness, that overcame every darkness in the world, the light of Judaism, the light of our soul that will burn brightly forever and ever. Because as Jews, we know we are not limited to the confines of human or world nature, but we transcend that because the soul is a part of God. Wishing everyone a joyous and a beautiful Hanukkah. May we continue to celebrate miracles in our day.